What does true wisdom look like in the later years of life? What lessons have been learned through decades of experience, struggle, and triumph? These are the kinds of questions that many older adults ask themselves as they reflect on the passage of time. Today, we are about to hear something very special. Advice straight from a retired professor who is 82 years old and has spent a lifetime not just in the classroom, but in the trenches of life itself. Many older adults are left with regrets, wondering if they could have lived their lives differently or if they had known what they know now when they were younger. But imagine this, the chance to hear the advice of someone who has walked through the challenges of aging, career, relationships, and health. Someone who has seen the world change and yet still holds on to the core principles of what really matters. This is not just any advice. This is advice that touches the heart, stirs the soul, and offers insight that could change your life or the life of someone you love forever. This retired 82-year-old professor has seen the world from a perspective few have, and what he shares today is more than just a collection of words. It is wisdom that many older adults, after hearing it, were moved to tears. If you are someone who is entering the later years of life, or if you care for someone who is, this video is for you. You will learn lessons that are grounded in both real-life experience and scientific understanding of health, aging, and the power of the human spirit. Stick around until the end, because what you hear may change how you view aging, health, and ultimately life itself. Aging is something that all of us will experience, but it is also one of the most misunderstood aspects of life. It is easy to think of aging as merely a process of decline, our bodies slowing down, our energy levels diminishing, and our once vibrant youth fading away. But aging does not have to be a time of despair or regret. In fact, it can be a time of growth, reflection, and even joy. This is what we often forget when we look at aging through the lens of fear and loss. The truth is, the later years of life hold immense potential. They are a time when we can reflect on our experiences, learn from our past mistakes, and find new meaning in the things that truly matter. But it is not always easy. The physical and emotional challenges of aging can sometimes make it feel like we are facing an uphill battle. It is easy to feel disconnected from the world as our bodies change, our friends and family pass away, and our lives no longer revolve around the daily routines of work and activity. Many older adults struggle with the feeling of being invisible, left behind by a society that constantly moves forward. However, as we will hear today, aging is not something to fear. It is a process to embrace, one that offers countless lessons and opportunities for growth. The insights we are about to hear come from someone who has lived through many of these challenges and emerged on the other side with a wealth of wisdom. A retired 82-year-old professor who has spent his life not just teaching others, but learning from the world around him. His perspective on life, health, and aging is not just based on theory or academic study. It comes from decades of experience. What makes this advice so valuable is that it is grounded in reality. It is not the advice of someone who has never struggled, who has never faced the difficult realities of aging. This professor has witnessed the ups and downs of life. He has watched his friends age, some gracefully and others with difficulty. He has seen the impact of health on quality of life, and he has been forced to confront his own mortality in ways that most of us will one day have to face. But instead of succumbing to fear or bitterness, he has chosen to approach these challenges with an open heart and a curious mind. In this video, you will hear lessons that are not just academic in nature, but deeply personal. These lessons are based on real-life experiences that this professor has had himself and witnessed in others. His advice is not about avoiding the inevitable challenges of aging, but about embracing them with wisdom, patience, and grace. As you listen to his words, you will hear not just the voice of a professor, but the voice of someone who understands what it means to live a full life, no matter how old you are. The advice shared in this video is designed to offer hope, inspiration, and practical guidance for those who are facing the challenges of aging. It is for anyone who is looking for ways to live with more intention, more purpose, and more peace. Whether you are in your 50s, 60s, or 80s, these lessons will resonate with you. They will give you the tools to navigate the later years of life with confidence, strength, and a deep sense of fulfillment. So stay with us as we explore the wisdom of a retired professor who has seen it all and is ready to share his invaluable insights with you. Advice 1. The importance of staying active. As we age, it can be easy to fall into a routine of inactivity. The body may feel tired more often, and the energy levels may seem to dip. However, one of the most important lessons that this retired professor has learned is the importance of staying physically active. Take Mr. Edwards, a retired school teacher who spent years of his life in front of a desk, grading papers and reading books. As he grew older, he began to experience aches and pains in his joints, making it harder to do the things he once loved. His morning walks became shorter, and soon he found himself sitting for hours, only getting up when necessary. But as his physical activity decreased, so did his sense of well-being. He became more sluggish, and his mental health also began to decline. This is where science backs up what Mr. Edwards felt. Staying active, even in small ways, can improve both physical and mental health. Studies show that regular physical activity in later years can reduce the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even some cancers. It also helps to improve mood and cognitive function, making it essential for maintaining quality of life. The takeaway here is simple. Move your body, whether it is a short walk, a gentle stretch, or a light exercise routine. Staying active is one of the best things you can do for yourself. Advice 2. The need for social connection. Another crucial lesson comes from Mrs. Turner, a 76-year-old widow who once had a vibrant social life, but found herself withdrawing after the death of her husband. Her days grew longer, and she spent more time in solitude. She missed the lively conversations, the weekly gatherings with friends, and the simple joy of sharing stories. At first, Mrs. Turner did not notice the effect this isolation was having on her, but soon she felt a deep sense of loneliness that she could not shake. Research shows that loneliness is not just an emotional challenge, it is a health issue. Studies have shown that prolonged loneliness can increase the risk of depression, anxiety, and even premature death. It has been linked to a 26% increase in the likelihood of mortality. For Mrs. Turner, it took a gentle nudge from her daughter to get back out into the world. Slowly, she began attending social events again, joining book clubs, and reconnecting with old friends. She found that just a few interactions each week made a world of difference in how she felt. The lesson here is clear. Never underestimate the power of social connection. It is vital to your health, happiness, and well-being. If you feel isolated, make an effort to reach out to friends, family, or even join community groups. A simple conversation can brighten your day and your life. Advice 3. Emotional well-being is key. In his years of teaching, this professor has noticed that many of his older students, people in their 70s and 80s, often carry deep emotional scars. Whether it is from regret, loss, or unresolved grief, these emotions can weigh heavily on the soul. Consider the story of Mrs. Jenkins, a 65-year-old woman who carried with her the burden of an old argument with her sister. Years ago, they had a falling out over a misunderstanding, and though they both wished to reconcile, neither one made the first move. It was only when Mrs. Jenkins faced a health scare that she realized how much this unresolved conflict had affected her peace of mind. Emotional well-being is just as important as physical health, and it is essential to address the emotional burdens that accumulate over time. Holding on to resentment or guilt can hinder healing, both emotionally and physically. Forgiveness, whether it is forgiving others or yourself, can lift a heavy load and improve your overall sense of happiness. The takeaway from this is that emotional health is something to nurture just as we do our bodies. Take the time to reflect, let go of past grievances, and allow yourself the freedom to heal. If you are still watching, I want to take a moment to thank you for being here. I know life can get busy and your time is precious. But if you have made it this far, then you are already making an important investment in yourself and your future. This is a space where we take a pause from the hustle of life and reflect on the things that truly matter: our health, our connections, and the wisdom that comes with age. Now, I would love to hear from you. As you listen to these stories and lessons, think about your own life. Are there any signs or lessons that resonate with you personally? Maybe you have been through a similar experience to Mr. Edwards, where a decrease in physical activity led to a decline in your energy or mood. Or perhaps you relate to Mrs. Turner's story, where the absence of regular social contact left a gap in your emotional well-being. Take a moment to reflect on how these insights can apply to your own life. If you are someone who has faced challenges with aging, health, or relationships, I want to hear from you. Share your thoughts, your experiences, or any advice that has helped you along the way. By sharing, you are not just helping yourself, you are also contributing to a community of others who may be feeling the same way. We can all learn from each other, no matter where we are in life. I encourage you to comment below with one thing that you have learned so far in this video. It might be a sign you did not recognize before, or a lesson that made you think differently about aging and health. I would also love to know if you have any personal stories you would like to share. Your words may inspire someone else who is watching and needs to hear that they are not alone. If you have already been touched by something in this video, if you have felt the weight of these lessons, take a moment to reflect on how they might change the way you approach the future. Sometimes it is the small actions that we take today that will have the biggest impact in the years to come. So comment below and let us know how you plan to take what you have learned and apply it in your own life. As we approach the end of this journey, I want to leave you with a lesson that is perhaps the most powerful of all. It is a lesson that many people only realize much too late in life, when time has slipped away and regrets have already begun to settle in. It is about the power of words, the things left unsaid, and the impact they can have on our lives and on the lives of those we love. This lesson comes from a conversation that Professor Thompson had with one of his former students, a woman named Margaret. Margaret, now in her 80s, had always been proud of her successful career and the achievements she had made in her life. She had built a strong reputation in her field, raised a family, and made many friends along the way. But as she grew older, she found herself consumed by an overwhelming sense of regret. It was not about the things she had done, it was about the things she had left undone. You see, Margaret had spent years working long hours and focusing on her professional life, and in doing so, she missed the opportunity to express her love and appreciation to those closest to her. She never told her children how much they meant to her, never told her friends how much their support had shaped her life, and never fully expressed the depth of her love for her late husband, David. One evening, as Margaret sat with Professor Thompson, she spoke of the pain she felt, not from any of her external achievements or failures, but from the emotional distance she had maintained over the years. She realized that the one thing she wanted more than anything was to hear her loved ones say, "I love you," and to have said those words herself while there was still time. This is a story that is far too common, and it is one that should touch us deeply. In a society that often pushes us to prioritize productivity, success, and achievement, it is easy to forget that the relationships we build and the love we share are the true measure of a life well lived. Time slips away far quicker than we realize. The moments we think we will have forever vanish in the blink of an eye. The lesson here is simple but profound. Do not wait to tell the people who matter to you how much they mean to you. Do not wait to show love, appreciation, and gratitude. Do not allow pride, anger, or even busyness to stand in the way of expressing the most basic and powerful human emotions. Love is something that should be shared freely, openly, and often. Margaret's story is one of regret, but it is also one of learning and growth. In the final years of her life, she made it a point to express her love to everyone she cared about. And in doing so, she found a deep sense of peace. She did not need to wait for a perfect moment. She simply started sharing what was in her heart, and it changed everything. So I leave you with this. If there is someone in your life who needs to hear that you love them, tell them now. If there is something you have been meaning to say but have kept inside, speak those words today. Do not wait for tomorrow. In the grand scheme of life, tomorrow is never promised. As we come to the end of this video, I want to take a moment to reflect on the powerful lessons we have explored together. It is clear that aging is not just a process of growing older. It is a journey that carries with it both challenges and incredible opportunities. Through the stories we have heard and the lessons shared, we have learned that the later years of life can be filled with wisdom, joy, and a renewed sense of purpose. Aging is often viewed with fear and uncertainty, especially in a world that values youth and productivity. But what we have learned today is that with age comes the unique opportunity to look back, reflect, and reframe our lives in ways that bring fulfillment. The struggles of physical decline, loneliness, and emotional burdens are very real. Yet they do not define who we are or what our lives can still become. Take a moment to consider this. Our lives are not infinite. The days we have are limited, and each one is precious. But that does not mean we must live with regret or a sense of loss. On the contrary, it means that we have the power at any age to shape the legacy we leave behind. It is not about the number of years we live, but about how deeply we live them. Throughout this video, we have seen that the key to a fulfilling life, no matter the age, is not in avoiding difficulties, but in embracing them with grace and wisdom. It is about staying active, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. It is about nurturing relationships, even when it feels difficult, and about speaking the words of love and gratitude while we still have the chance. It is about choosing to live with intention and taking the small actions each day that lead to a life well lived. The retired professor we heard from today has experienced the full arc of life. He has known the joy of teaching, the pain of loss, and the fulfillment of seeing his wisdom passed on to others. His life serves as a reminder that it is never too late to make a change, to grow, and to connect with others. Whether you are in your 50s, 60s, or even 80s, the ability to transform your life, to choose a different path, is always within reach. We must also remember that aging is not just about the individual. It is about the community, the family, and the legacy we leave for those who come after us. The choices we make today, the love we show, and the wisdom we share will resonate far beyond our own lives, and in that, there is profound beauty. As we finish today's video, I invite you to take a moment and reflect on your own life. What lessons have you learned? What changes can you make starting today to ensure that your later years are filled with joy, peace, and connection? It is never too late to begin the journey of living fully, and every small step you take will bring you closer to the life you want to lead. Remember, the fragility of life is not something to fear. It is something to embrace. The power to create meaning, purpose, and joy is in your hands, no matter where you are in your journey. Let us cherish the time we have, celebrate the wisdom we have gained, and look forward to the beautiful days still ahead. Thank you for being with me on this journey today. If you have felt moved, inspired, or simply more connected to the wisdom shared in this video, I ask you to take a moment and show your support. This video was created with the hope that it would make a difference in your life and in the lives of others. And your engagement plays a crucial part in making that happen. First, if you found this video helpful, please like it. Your likes are not just a symbol of appreciation. They help others discover this content and make it more likely that someone else who may need to hear these words will find them. It is a simple action, but one that has a ripple effect that can spread far beyond what we see. Next, I would love for you to leave a comment below. Your thoughts, your reflections, and your own stories are what make this community so rich and meaningful. What part of this video resonated with you the most? Is there a lesson you are going to carry with you moving forward? Or maybe you have a piece of advice or insight that can help someone else who is watching. Whatever it may be, your words matter and they can inspire and help others. Please also consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss out on any future videos that can continue to provide value, whether through more insights into aging, emotional well-being, or simple yet powerful life lessons. Subscribing also helps us grow this community of like-minded individuals who are committed to living a life filled with purpose, health, and joy, no matter their age. Finally, if you have found this video to be meaningful, I encourage you to share it with someone you care about. Maybe there is a family member, a friend, or even a neighbor who could benefit from the wisdom we have shared today. By sharing this video, you are not just passing along information. You are offering a reminder of the importance of love, connection, and living with intention. If this video touched your heart, please pass it on. You never know who might need it today, who might be waiting for that one word of encouragement or insight that can change their day or their life. Together, we can create a ripple effect of kindness, wisdom, and hope that can make this world a little brighter. Thank you again for being part of this journey. I am grateful for each and every one of you, and I look forward to continuing to share these moments together. Until next time, take care of yourself and those you love.